Students at the Goa College of Architecture have begun boycotting classes in protest against the college administration. Students charge that the administration has failed to update the COA, a body governing architects in the country, over the rise in student admissions, leaving many students without a COA allotment. Listen.
Our students had boycotted classes because of a problem we have with our COA enrollment numbers. Today as well, we have come together and boycotting classes because of the same issue. To give you all a small brief about what is actually happening,
Hi, good afternoon. So currently we are speaking from the Goa College of Architecture. So as you already know, architecture is a professional course. So we have a professional body that handles the regulations and systems around it pan-India. So for law you have the Bar Council, for medicine you have the medical board. Like that we architects and architecture students have the COA, that is the Council of Architecture. As soon as we join a professional college that is ours, we are supposed to be getting a COA enrollment number. So that recognizes us as architecture students. So after we graduate, after a 5-year degree, we use that number, and later that would smoothen our process of getting an architectural license to further practice in the real world. Without this, it becomes an impediment or a hindrance for us to apply for our license to design buildings and get into the field later. So what is the issue currently at GCA? In the year 2019-2020, the government had increased our capacity from 40 students to 50 students. That is increasing it by 10 students. But this same wasn't conveyed to the COA. So currently, we are a college that is recognized to have only 40 seats in each class. So that brings us under the impression that we don't have 10 extra students. So currently, we've come under this whole issue of 10 plus students in each class not having a COA number. And this is a very strong issue because currently we have 5th years who would just be graduating in another few months. And when they step into the real world, they'll be just left hanging like that. So we are currently in the fear that all our students, so now that forms 20% of our college who don't have COA numbers at all. And we being the only college in Goa, it's a big shame for us not to have this. And now looking into this, it's our administration's issue, and they need to be raising it up at the higher level. It is all doable. What we demand is that it should be fastened. And to be very honest, this should have been done in the year 2019 onwards, 2019-2020 batch onwards. So currently, we as students have come together and we've been trying to raise this issue to our administration for quite some time. We had spoken to them last Wednesday to get all the documents sorted, place it before us, have some transparency on how this is going to be taken up and above in the higher levels. So yes, we've been demanding for that.
Surprisingly, students say that some senior administrative faculties have advised them to use COA numbers of other architects in order to sign off on projects. Listen.
we have just been getting verbal promises from our administration. We need written promises and with their signature being given and saying that this job will be done in so and so timeline. We have students passing out in March. If they don't get their enrollment number, they cannot apply for a license to get their registration number under the COA, and they will not be able to practice. Our administration has even gone to the extent of saying that we can use other students and other alumni's numbers to practice instead of our own. And this cannot be done.
And that is completely illegal. We have an act under architecture regulation body that states that after we graduate, we all need to have our own architectural practicing number. So, for example, when we build a building, we sign over there because we are official architects. Now we have gotten this quote from one of the higher authorities in administration saying that it's fine if you don't have a number. Once you graduate, why don't you all use the number of an other architect? And that is highly unprofessional. That's actually against law. You can be jailed for things like that.
According to students, the college has also failed to provide a host of other facilities such as drinking water and proper toilets. Listen.
We'd like to bring up a lot of other problems that have been going through in our college. When it comes to infrastructure, there's not been any basic amenities such as water and electricity for a continuous period of time in the last 5 years. Ever since I was there in first year, I'm a 5th year student right now. The basic providing of drinking water has not been available to students, as well as improper toilets for females. Our male toilets are completely not usable, as well as there are plug points in every single class that have electricity surges, and students are getting a shock from touching these plug points. Other things, as now the COA sends a few people to inspect our college every year. There have been 2 inspections in the last 5 years because of we had COVID in between. Now these inspectors that came a week prior to this, only then there have been a few touch-ups like painting as well as electricity and water has been provided and repaired just before this inspections itself, and nothing has been working year round. Other issues is like we have a few years back the administration has appointed a faculty who is not is mentally disabled, and she has been causing also a lot of problems in our college. So that issue we have continuously raised towards our administration, but nothing has been done so far. There have been students in debt for the last 5 years when it comes to reimbursements, when it comes to college events as well as class tours and other activities being done in our college.
Dylan Roderick, Subhashish Govekar and Omkar Deshprabhu for Goa 365.